What's up, everybody? Sam Smice here. Today I want to show you how to make Don't Forget My Love by Diplo and Miguel. So this is Diplo's latest release. It's like a piano house track. Let me just play you a portion of it, and mainly I want to go over the drop of this song. So that is the drop of the song. I've got some other sections that I did in the beginning that are pretty simplified versions of the actual track. But I think in the beginning, it's really just got some piano and some chords with a synth, like a saw wave synth. And I tried to come up with the piano chords the best I could. I'm not the best at transcribing that type of stuff. So for this whole session, I'll actually provide a link down below so you can download it for free. And I try to use mainly stock plugins. I did use Serum and then also Contact, but I'll go ahead and bounce down the Contact instrument so you can at least use the MIDI and then hear what the instrument sounds like in the track. One thing I like about Diplo is that his tracks are not always the best mixed. They almost sound gritty. Some of them sound pretty gritty and a little dirty. And I like that because it just makes them sound pretty natural. So in this drop, I thought the actual mix was super, super bass heavy with the kick and the bass. So I try to keep it kind of dirty sounding in this drop. So let's just go ahead and go over the drums. So we've just got our kick here. This is going to be a pretty standard deep house, tech house style kick. Let's listen to the claps. You can hear very gritty sounding on that reverb. And I layer it with a second clap. So there's a kick in the clap, and then you've got to have your snare risers. So here's a snare riser, and I'm automating the volume and also a EQ8. And that's just going to be this snare roll sample. And then I've got the crash with some reverb. So now let's go ahead and listen to all those together. And that does it for those parts. Let's go ahead and check out some of these tops here. So I tend to group my tops all together, just have some EQ8 taking off the low end, and I'm actually using a sidechain compressor with the kick so that they duck under the kick because the kick just cuts through the whole mix of the track. So I just use the sidechain compressor a lot throughout this whole mix. So I've got some shakers. That's kind of like a ride. An open hat, and then I feel like the second section of the drop, he adds on another hat layer. So yeah, pretty dirty sounding with all of those hats. And then we've got the bass next. So let's go ahead and check out the bass. Now the bass is going to be just like a donk bass, I guess is what you call it. A FM bass. This is from my Serum preset pack if you do want to grab it. And for the bass, he just goes up G, A, B to D. So let's go ahead and play the bass and the drums together. And that's going to be it for the bass. I just use that one preset. And then let's go ahead and check out the instruments. Just have some simple processing on the bass here. I've got the sidechain compressor, saturator, just a compressor there. The one main key to this drop is basically when Miguel says, "Don't forget my love," he goes, "Don't forget my love." That love, Diplo takes that and he echoes it out throughout the drop. So it actually is pretty significant. I feel like it adds to the groove a lot. And so I just found a random vocal sample and then pitched it down to that note that Miguel sang love. And then I just used that to kind of replicate that sound. And I'm actually just using the crappy Ableton stock grand piano plugin because I just feel like it's pretty dirty and imperfect. So I've just had that with some EQ, OTT, saturator, and sidechain compressor. And then I have that layered with the same notes, but let's just go ahead and I'll show you the notes here. And I hope these are right. They sound right to me. You can see I'm keeping this top note the same. And I noticed that a lot in these piano house tracks where you can keep like one note the same and just change up some variations so you have some inversions of the actual chords. And then let's go ahead and check out this synth. Just a smooth pad synth based upon some saw waves there. That's actually from my Serum preset pack 2, if you do want to grab that. And that's for the first part of the drop. Now we're going to go into the second part of the drop now. We'll hear some extra instruments in the second part. So for there, we've got that extra hi-hat in the drums, which is a bit tinny sounding, this hi-hat. Almost like a ride, like a dirty ride. And then there is this guitar that is played, and of course, I didn't really play an actual guitar. I just used the contact guitar, which doesn't sound real, but it sounds pretty good. And then that ba-ba-da-da-da-da, that's going to be the actual melody that Miguel sings for "Don't Forget My Love." Actually, let me go ahead and consolidate these, and I actually got to combine that note there. And then he adds these brass hits. And I feel like there's an echo to that second one, but I just made a second hit a bit quieter on the velocity. And that's actually going to be a brass sound from my Serum preset pack as well. A Serum. Just added some reverb and some EQ. And let's go ahead and check out those instruments now. And that about does it for that drop there. And let's go ahead and just check that out one more time. I'll go ahead and collapse all of these and play the drop. And before the drop, it's pretty simple. It's pretty spacey. I think he just has some bigger chords with the keys. And so I did use contact here to get it a bit more natural sounding. And so for these keys, I'm using the Gentleman piano. And then later on, he adds a bass note. So there you can see those notes there. And then I've just got this pad from the drop, just playing the same chord throughout that to keep that tension going. Then he has a pretty simple hat loop going on throughout that part. And then we've got some extra percussions. I just tried to fill this in with some similar sounding stuff. I didn't try to match it exactly. And you can see I've got some frequency automation for that guitar. Then he has a little ambient during that build-up part. In the actual track, it sounds like there's people talking, so I just put in an ambience there. And then there's almost like a little ride, like a dirty ride that happens too. And then also I just filtered off that piano and made that rhythm, which I think is something similar to what he plays in the track. And then I just put some mastering on there. So let's see, the master just got a glue compressor, EQ8, and the Pro L2, or I'll just put on the limiter. And so that about does it for this track. I hope that helps you understand how to make this song. And if you want to do a piano house song, hopefully this helps. And if you do want to check out this session, you can grab the download down below in the video descriptions. And also, if you do want to grab any of my Serum preset packs, I'll put links down below for you to check those out. So if you did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a like, and also please consider subscribing if you are not yet subscribed. And finally, if you are truly looking to improve your mixing skills, then check out my Modern Mix Academy. This is a full online mixing course that I created that will help you make some of the best records of your life from the comfort of your own home. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.